Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's a Monday. We're ready to end February. Again, time is flying, right? We're coming into February. I only got a few more months. April's my race for my marathon. It's amazing how fast time goes. So let's enjoy this process of life. Let's take it step by step. Let's stay consistent in the things we do. And that's why I show up with you every day, because I want you to know that it's about consistency. And I'm here, right? So even if you fall off a little bit, it's okay. Let's get back up and get going. Now, within our structure, our plan, this is the last week of check. And if we look last year, that was when a big change happened for me. I was like, wow, I need to make some changes. My mission isn't where it needs to be. Really didn't have a vision then. And I made those changes to sign up for that 5K in July, and then the ball just started rolling. And I'm not going to get metaphysical, but I got to tell you, when you start to put things out there, things start to happen. And like I said last week, I turned down a big deal. I haven't officially, it's not official, but it's pretty much official. I've mentally kind of checked out on that because I want to commit to my mission of 800 people in Morning Coach by the end of this year and working with those people. Instead of 100,000, and I want everybody to have as much success here as possible. And I want to be the best that it possibly can be. And with that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit later today about when you take massive action and you put your mission, how things start to come into place, because we have a new platform. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. Book study, we're going to take a break, because it is actually Stu. So we're going to talk about why we made the change, what's going to happen for you, and you're going to get access to it this week before we open it up with our grand opening, which is actually Friday, or Saturday, March 1st. We are opening up the grand opening of Morning Coach, really the grand opening of the new Morning Coach. And there's some reasons for that, and I'm going to go over that tomorrow and a little bit later today on why we took massive action and why we're evolving. Because it's really important that as you look at your life and you look at your plan, you have to make changes in order to hit the things you want to do. So I always say Morning Coach in my life is the biggest social experiment, because as I utilize the structure and the tools, I just show you what's working for me and what isn't working for me. I mean, it's unbelievable that a company, and I talked about this last Monday, I'm not going to get into it too much, but, was thinking about 100,000 people at $1,000 per person. And it was nothing to them. Like, we want you, we want to bring this in, we want to do that. And I'm like, what power of manifestation is going on right now? But then I'm stepping back going, no, I want to make this great. And maybe we'll do that later if I have the system set up, but I am living a life that I love. I'm doing things that I love. I have a mission. I have a vision that's coming together. My training's getting better. I'm working at a 3:30 marathon. Hopefully we'll pull that off April 27th. I'll say I will, right? Let's stay positive in affirmation. But the key is that all these things are working because I'm consistently looking at my life and evolving on a consistent basis. You see, evolution and change are part of the process. There's a lot of things happening in the political system in the United States. We're all over the world and everybody watches that, right? And it's challenging. We have good friends. We have people in the mastermind that are going through changes because governmentally there are changes. Finances are going different directions, right? One of the things that I really want to work with you on this year is to create independency from anything, right? I want to help you get to that point. And we're going to be doing ILD this summer. And I'm putting a lot of time into this because I want to take what you do. And everybody that comes here, look, the people that I'm working with that are coming here are intelligent, awesome people. Most people are looking for a little more organization. They're looking for ideas and thoughts. And the truth is, being able to evolve to the person you're going to become, just as I'm evolving every day, is what's going to allow you to do that, to have more time off, to be able to do things you want to do, to have a great life. And a lot of it is perspective. I didn't even talk about our morning ritual to get started, right? Take time for self-care, listen to Coach Guest, do your 7 Ps, get in the planner. It's important that we do that on a daily basis because you're changing and looking at things and adapting and moving and having the right perspective is so critical. Because that's what's going to help you get through the days when we have the dark days. And we need to appreciate the dark days because they show you the light. But the idea today is we want to start taking action. And we want to be able to get out there and take the right course of action. Now, how do you know what action to take? How do I know to change systems? How do I know to evolve to something else? Should I just work on what I'm already doing and make a difference there? Or should I make a big switch, which is always a challenge? Well, the way I look at it is to look at my mission and my vision. What am I looking to accomplish? This is our last check of the February, right? So in January, if you're new with me, it's okay. Don't let this get over your head, just step by step. If you are just getting started, you're good. Don't worry about this. You should be going into the new system and just go to the planning area and work on planning. Just do the onboarding stuff. If you've been with me for a while, you should have a structure. You should have a plan. You should be working towards that plan. If everything's working, great. Let's keep going. If it's not, this is the time. This is the week to make the shift. So for us, when I was looking at things, we're taking action, and I'm saying, okay, we don't want to work with the corporate side. Not that I don't want to work with corporate. We have clients that are corporate. We're in corporations now. I just didn't want to take all of us and just move, my attention all the way over to what I would have had to do was just leave, right, and go spend time on that. That's not what I want to do. That's not part of my mission. My mission is to make this amazing. And maybe 2 years down the road, it'll be so systemic that they could just plug into it without me, right? So the idea is to make it great for you. And how are we doing that? Well, we've got to have a mission to do that. We've got to have a number of people that we want to work with, that we want to build this to. And that's what I'm focused on, right? So that's my mission. And then my vision is, how can I personally change into that person that can be that person that can facilitate that and do those things? And a lot of that has to do with health, right? I want to get stronger, healthier. I just want to be peak at all areas of life. And I believe we can do that. That's my strive every day, is just to enjoy this life. Remember, this isn't like an OCD thing where it's like you're not enjoying this process. In fact, it's the opposite of that. I always say, I like the movie The Big Lebowski, the guy that drinks White Russians and goes bowling and just just hangs out, right? That's kind of me at the end of the day. I just want to hang out. But in order to just do that, I've got to have structure. I've got to have systems so I can do the things I want to do when I want to do them. Or as Karen yells at me, the only child syndrome, where I'm kind of a spoiled child. Yes, my mom did spoil me. We didn't have anything until we were 10 years old. My real father and my stepfather had kind of a war, and, they tried to manipulate and, buy whatever they could, buy my love. My real dad did. So, I learned to be a great salesperson because I would just sell them against each other. But again, I'm a mama's boy, and for those first 10 years of my life, it was extremely challenging. And so I realized that, and so when we look at those things, we gotta keep progressing forward with the plan in order to focus, right? Okay, so what we want to do today is take massive action. So evolution and change is the process. We're going to get change. Evolution is going to happen. Why ILD is critical is because it gives you a foundation to stand on. And I'll go over that again as we get into this. And by the way, the final Financial Friday, we're going to talk about it Friday because a bunch of people are asking about it, and we're going to go over that Friday. But the idea or the concept that we work with at MorningCoach is to get you as efficient as possible and then to live the best life that you possibly can. And in order to do that, you got to take action. I will not be able to run a 3-hour and 30-minute marathon if I don't train. It's just impossible, right? I have to train. That's an Olympian effort for somebody my age. I'm going against past Olympians. I'm going against college runners, 1,500 people in the world from 55 to 60. So I have to get elite. So I have to train and train hard. I have to focus on my true nutrition. I have to take action. Now, I'm not saying you have to take crazy action in everything you do, but we need to start taking action towards our mission. And if you are, if you aren't. So again, if we get metaphysical and talk about the law of attraction, The Secret was out years ago, and it used to drive me crazy because people would say, I could think and things will come into my life. It's much more than that, right? The last word in law of attraction is action. You have to believe. Thoughts are things. They are. Everything starts as thought. We need to have that underlying idea. But then beliefs make them so. So thoughts are things. Beliefs make them so. And then action solidifies belief. So if I look at your calendar and I look at your bank account, I'm going to know where your beliefs and your actions are. And that's a challenging thing for a lot of people because they don't want to be discovered, right? And that's where imposter syndrome and everything else happens. The truth is you have the ability to go after your mission. You just have to get clear about what that is. And for everybody, that's something different. And as you work towards that, your life will get better. So growth comes from doing and learning. That's where growth comes from. Sorry used to have, Mike Lee Caneric, who I train with, used to have up on the wall, you grow through what you go through. You grow through what you go through. And there's truth to that. Like, you've got to get yourself moving to be able to grow. When I'm learning the new language of running, I talk about this all the time, that when you're networking and meeting people, as you do things, you learn a language. There are certain things that people that run marathons do that a normal person wouldn't understand. They're not going to understand the gel intake. They're not going to understand a negative split versus a positive split. They're not going to understand some of the verbiage. So as we grow and we have our mission and we start moving towards that, we start to learn things that are going to serve us in our life. And a lot of this has to do with the progressive dream. Like, your life is just a progression of the dream. But in order to do that, you got to have some structure. So we got to focus on the mission and allow things to start to work. So with that being said, tomorrow I'm going to introduce you to a new site. If you get an email today, hub.morningcoach.com, you will be able to log in once you get the email. Once you log in, this is really important. You need to put your profile up there. There's some questions that you need to answer, because the content will be delivered via the answers that you do. So there's a lot of individualized content. And then there's a site tutorial on how to use the site. And I'll talk about this tomorrow. But where did this all come from? Well, I'm negotiating a big deal with this company, 100,000 employees. And my friend Selena Sue says, hey, come to my networking meeting, will you, and have a discussion with all my people. I said, cool, I'll come to your networking meeting. And so I end up going to the networking meeting. And then there's my old friend Stu McLaren. So if you don't know Stu, we're doing his book. But Stu, I met Stu years ago at a big mastermind at Jeff Walker's. And Stu was a founder of Wishlist Member. When we go all the way back, we never used that, I don't think. We used every other system with Morning Coach but that. But Stu was well respected, especially in the membership type of community. I mean, I'm talking all the way back to 2008, 2009 timeframe. So I saw Stu. I'm like, Stu, what's up, man? Good to see you. It's been a long time. Let's set up a meeting. So I set up a meeting with Stu, and I said, Stu, this is what we're doing. I said, I got a big opportunity with a company, and I want to make my things great. I said, my mission is to bring 800 people in this year. I want to make it amazing. And my vision is to run a 3-hour 30 marathon. He goes, my vision, I want to run a 3-hour 30 marathon. So then we just connected. And he said, you know what? I think I can help you do that. He goes, I got a system that we've been building over the years that is directly related to what you're doing. And it's perfect for what you do, because it's a content system that is simplified in order to provide value and provide the content in a way that people don't get overwhelmed. And if you know me and you've been with me for any amount of time, every day almost I say, don't get overwhelmed, because we have so much, there's so much stuff. You go to your library, you don't know where to start. You don't know where to go. We've got ebooks. 20 years of work, 5,617 CoachCasts, right? Now, obviously, all those aren't up there, and there's no reason to have the first couple thousand. Nobody would have the ability to go back and listen to them all. Every once in a while, somebody will sign up and go, I want to listen to everything. I'm like, there's no way. It would take you 3 months, 24 hours a day to listen to everything. So there has to be some common sense in this, too. But, and some of that old stuff's, it's old stuff, right? So we're always evolving. I'm getting better every day. And so, but I looked at it, and I said, wow, this is pretty cool. So when we look at the aspect of life, and understanding evolution and change. When you take massive action, let's bring this full circle, and you have a mission, all of a sudden the tools and resources start coming into your life. And that's why one of the things that we're really building is a community structure, which is a lot simpler than we have now. I'm spending a lot more time in there. It's a lot cleaner, and it works with mobile. That's the thing that I love. It's not an app. You just go to the website. Jurgen already did a tutorial on the site tutorial, like, hey, this is how you add it to your homepage. Jurgen's just amazing, right? But it's just clean and it just works. And I just want to tell you that, like, again, going back to my life really is just a social experiment of how this stuff works. So all of a sudden we have this clean, amazing software that was built for what we're doing. And not only that, I'm connected to the person that is the founder of it, and his team is helping me develop it to be great. So how does that happen? That happens from taking massive action. That happens from building relationships. That happens from getting in communities and getting to know other people and talk to people. If I wouldn't have met Stu years ago, this would have never happened. So I'm just challenging you today. Take some action. When you get into the new site, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, come by and say hello. Engage a little bit. You never know who you're going to meet. It's going to make a difference in your life. And again, if you take the approach as I do, how can I help you? How can I serve you? And I find the right people, and I separate the wheat from the chaff. You'll see some things I'm doing on Facebook. I'm deleting everybody because I only want to work with my clients and super close family, and I want everybody else out of my life. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking for champions, as Sir has told us for years. Propellers, drainers, and maintainers. I want propellers in my life. That's all I want to work with, propellers. Maintainers are cool, they're around. And drainers, no dice, not at this age. I want a great life with amazing people. And that's what we're creating. And I'm just saying, get out there and focus on your mission and your vision. If you don't have clarity in that, take time to do that. I can't tell you how important that is. Wake up and prioritize every morning, learn a little bit more about yourself, and keep growing because it's amazing who you'll become. And one day you'll look in the mirror, and just as I always say, train for something. I got to tell you, I'm looking good. I'm not being ego-driven there, but I looked in the mirror the other day, and I was lifting downstairs in the gym. I'm like, dang, what's going on? And that's from the training. That's from the work. That's from the action. And then all of a sudden you look, and you're like, well, I guess I do look pretty good. Never train for the mirror. Never train for the ego. Never build for the ego. Build for you. Build for purpose. Build for mission. And take massive action. You got to believe in it more than anything. And that's what we're doing here. All right, so let's get out there and have a great day. Let's take some action and look for your email so you can get in the new site before Friday when we bring everybody in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, lots of love to you.